Good evening and welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm AJ Rivera.
And I'm Sydney Sims.
A Columbus woman, Kathy Ann Whitfield, was arrested on February 17th on a felony warrant charging her with trafficking.
The arrest was made as a result of a joint investigation between the DEA and APD. Upon searching her residence, officials discovered 6.5 kilos of cocaine and more than 6 pounds of marijuana, an AR-15 as well, and an undisclosed amount of cash.
Whitfield was booked in the Lee County Detention Facility before being released on a $50,000 bond. Mardi Gras has arrived on the plains. The annual Cru de Tigres parade was Saturday, February 22nd, and Eagle Eye was there to cover all the fun.
The annual Cru de Tigres Mardi Gras parade was this Saturday, February 22nd, and was off to a rounding success. There was tons of people, tons of floats, and of course, tons of beads.
See all of our community come together, not just Auburn, we see Opelika, we see Lee County, everybody comes out and has a great time.
I'm here with Hunter and we're having a wonderful time. Hunter, what was your favorite part about the parade?
The hats.
You really liked them throwing out the hats?
Yeah.
What, did you collect a lot of beads?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, we're glad that you came out.
The fight against the proposed granite quarry in Opelika continues as state officials have ordered a public hearing regarding the discharge permit proposed by the Creekwood Company. The Alabama Department of Environmental Management said that they have determined a public hearing is necessary as a result of requests received by the department during the public notice period for the draft permit. Creekwood must pay a public hearing fee of $8,450 before the hearing date is set.
The United States Navy Band will perform a free concert at the Jay and Susie Gouge Performing Arts Center on March 13th at 7:30 p.m. The Navy Band is the flagship musical organization of the United States Navy and has been performing concerts and participating in events for more than 95 years. Based in Washington, D.C., the Navy Band consists of full-time professional musicians who are also enlisted Navy sailors. Almost all of the sailors in the band also have degrees in music. The concert at the Gouge is free and open to the public, but tickets are required for admission. To reserve seats, visit www.gougecentertickets.auburn.edu.
Also at last Tuesday's meeting, the Auburn City Council approved an expansion to Sky Bar. The expansion has been proposed for 2 meetings prior and was postponed until now. Based on the renderings showed in the e-packet for the meeting, the expansion will include adding a 3rd floor to the building, mainly for extra storage and additional bathrooms on the 2nd floor. Other additions coming to the 2nd floor of the building will include a new concrete deck, a waterfall, and a fire fountain. The green space looked colorful this week as the Black Student Union celebrated its Unity project with an impressive interactive art installation. Students took yarn to these poles that had different identifiers on them. That pole in the middle, of course, says, "I am a part of the Auburn family." BSU Director of Outreach, Trinity Thomas, told us why the event is important to students.
I think it's important so that you gain an appreciation for the identities around you more so. So it's basically just to make us have an appreciation for each other and show us that yes, we do have differences, but there's also a lot of things we have in common too.
We'll be back with more after this. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Yeah, Sam, Elmo.
Oh, hey, Julia. Are you ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's going to play his drum.
Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music.
Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that?
Volunteers from the Auburn community came together to clean up one of the oldest African-American slave cemeteries. Eagle Eye's own Lainey Mayfield was on the scene.
Reef blowers, rakes, and chainsaws were in use this past Saturday as volunteers from the Auburn community came together to clean the Baptist Hill Cemetery. The Baptist Hill Cemetery is the first separate black slave cemetery and holds a host of rich history and is the resting place of unsung heroes and sheroes. Conditions of the cemetery have declined over the years. This has urged citizens in the community to take matters into their own hands. Auburn University's Human Development Family Studies lecturer Robert Bubb coordinated the event and expressed why it is beneficial for the community to come together to restore the cemetery's conditions.
It's important for us to come out here and remember those who have come before us, those who here in Auburn, whose families have been here since Auburn was established, those who endured enslavement, those who endured sharecropping, those who have endured segregation and Jim Crow laws and black codes, and those that have served and died for our country.
The conditions of the Baptist Hill Cemetery have been alarming to some more than others.
And to me, it's very, very important to clean up the Baptist Hill Cemetery because my great-grandfather is buried over here, Dowdell Carter Sr. And for a long period of time here in Auburn, this is one of the first places that African Americans could be buried at. So to preserve our heritage and to be proud of the sacrifices that they made for us, I feel like it means a lot, and I wouldn't take it for granted to be able to come out here and to clean up on these Saturdays when we were able to.
The family of the deceased have authorized and encouraged residents in the community to join them as they actively restore conditions. In the name of community service, volunteers in the Auburn community decided to give back in an extraordinary way. Robert Bubb wanted to give a special thanks to Auburn's Park and Recreation for providing trucks and for scheduling debris pickups. Organizations such as Prince Hall Freemasonry and RPAS volunteer at the event. If you know anyone or are interested on how to volunteer or get involved, you can email Robert Bubb at robert.r.bubb@gmail.com. I'm Lainey Mayfield, and you're watching Eagle Eye TV. We'll be right back after this.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out."
I'll be right back.
Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
The Auburn City Council approved an ordinance prohibiting the construction of purpose-built student housing for 90 days at its meeting last Tuesday. The ordinance, effective immediately, restricts the construction of private dorms and academic detached units within Auburn city limits. The ordinance cites the Auburn University Board of Trustees' decision to limit undergraduate enrollment to 25,000 students as a reason to halt the construction of housing. The council requested that the city's planning department research and review student housing to determine what further action, if any, needs to be taken to ensure there is not an overabundance of student housing in Auburn. If the developer has received a foundation permit, they may still continue or begin construction. This includes projects such as 320 West Mag and Uncommon Auburn, which are currently under construction.
The Auburn Tigers will host the Coaching for Literacy Fight for Literacy Games this Wednesday, February 25th, when the University of Mississippi visits the Auburn Arena. The initiative brings coaches, players, and fans together for a common cause to use the power of sports to raise awareness about illiteracy and raise funds for literacy programs nationwide. The partnership with Auburn University, now in its second year, provides financial support to the Office of Professional and Continuing Education's summer reading program. This year, the effort has raised over $4,500 through corporate sponsorships and fan pledges.
A Senate Judiciary Committee passed a medical marijuana bill for the state of Alabama last Wednesday morning. The bill would regulate the production and sale of medical marijuana and would allow people with certain medical conditions to have access to it. There are 15 qualifying conditions mentioned in the bill, some of which include epilepsy, Crohn's disease, and chronic pain. The bill would also allow qualifying individuals to receive a card from the Medical Cannabis Commission and set up 34 dispensaries across the state. In order to receive a card, the individual would need to register with the commission and receive approval from a qualifying physician.
Don't be coy. We know you want to meet this cute pup. This week's pet of the week is Koi. This 4-year-old boy loves to be in your lap as much as possible and is always wanting a treat or two. He enjoys belly rubs and chin scratches and would be the best snuggle buddy on a rainy day. Koi is neutered, vaccinated, microchipped, and has recently been treated for heartworms. Come by this week and meet the pup who can steal your heart with just one look. We'll be back with more after this.
Touchdown! Did you see that? Whoa, we scored?
Yeah, we scored going to the playoffs.
I can't believe I missed that.
Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone.
I should take your phone away.
No. I'll call for a ride.
Wait, why does my face look like that?
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I've taken 25 selfies in the last 10 minutes.
26.
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
The primary election is next week, and in addition to voting in the candidate primaries for the presidency and Senate, Alabamians will have an opportunity to vote on a new amendment.
There's a new amendment up for voting in this year's primary election. Titled Amendment 1, this new amendment would rename the State Board of Education to the Alabama Commission on Elementary and Secondary Education. Currently, the State Board is elected and the superintendent is appointed by the board. Alabama is one of 11 states that elects their school boards, and one of 6 where the board then appoints the superintendent. Other states include Michigan and Utah. The new amendment would change the board from being elected by voters to being appointed by the governor and confirmed by the Senate. The title of the State Superintendent of Education would also be changed to the Secretary of Elementary and Secondary Education. The new amendment would align Alabama with 12 other states, including Kentucky, Florida, and Arkansas. If this amendment passes, it would be the 947th amendment to the Alabama Constitution, which is already the longest constitution in the nation. The amendment is one of the big talking points of Governor Kay Ivey's State of the State address. She states, "We've become too complacent on being at or near the bottom of national education rankings." Citing the nation's report card, Alabama is 49th in terms of reading and 52nd in terms of math. Governor Ivey claims too many of our high school graduates simply aren't ready for college or a career, and has high hopes that the new amendment will improve education in Alabama. As votes come in, Eagle Eye will keep you informed on whether this amendment passes or not.
Tune back into Eagle Eye News on March 3rd when we have our primary election show to find out if this new amendment will be passed.
That's all that we have for you tonight. Keep up with all the latest Auburn news throughout the week by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Eagle Eye TV. I'm AJ Rivera.
And I'm Sydney Sims. Thanks for joining us, and War Eagle.